Fantastic. Thank you, Deborah. So thanks to your 30-day trial registration, I'll give you just 2 minutes of who we are as a company, and then I'd like to take the next 45 minutes just to give you 2 kind of data entry components to uLaw, okay?
Okay.
So fundamentally, as a company,
before you start, sorry, I am working right now as a per diem duty counsel lawyer. I'm on my lunch break, and I might be interrupted. I don't think I will be, but there's a possibility that I might be in about half an hour.
Okay, I'll try and wrap this as soon as I can.
Awesome.
Fair enough. Okay, so we are a legal accounting, business accounting, practice management software company on the cloud. We're Canadian. Our data is secure. It's 256-bit encrypted like the bank, and your data is stored in Canada. We're one of the very few companies that does that. Now, is this your first year in business, Deborah?
It is.
Okay. We're the only company in Canada, and actually in North America too, that offers, so if you were to like the product, and let's say you do want to purchase it at the end of your trial, we have a self-help right here under help called Activate Credit Card. And for new entrepreneurs who've just started their business in the last year, we offer uLaw at a nominal discounted price of $29 Canadian plus tax. So that's $32.77. You can either pay for it month to month, or you can pay it annually at $348 plus tax, okay?
Okay.
After the first year, we hope you made enough money where you can afford either a yearly at $408, which is a $34 value, or you can choose the monthly option if you were to go month on month at still $44 Canadian plus tax, okay?
Okay.
That way I've got the moose off the table.
Yeah.
Let me jump into really the product demonstration. So thanks to your trial registration, what we've given you access to, and I can resend this information, is an account called a practice or a playground account, okay?
Yeah.
The playground account allows you to put fake names, Superman, Spider-Mans, Superwomans of the world, just to get yourself familiar with the product and the data entry. Now, do not put real client names in this account. For that, we've also given you your own account. Okay, so that's dk.deborahkatzlaw, and the default password is trial uLaw.
Yes.
Now, using that, so this is 2 different links. This is APP for application. The playground account is different. It's ADU, right? Now, in your own account, when you log in, you're going to notice that it's the same product. So there is no dummified version of the product during your trial either, okay? But this account remains to be yours and will continue to be yours with no loss of data during the trial period and after you purchase it as well. So whatever data you put in during your trial continues to exist if and when you purchase it.
Okay.
Okay? Now, the last thing I want to bring your attention to is when you log in into your own account for the first time, Deborah, what happens is we've again invested in this new technology called two-factor authentication. This is trying to, so uLaw is trying to authorize or authenticate the device that you're using. Okay, so I'm trying to log in as you using my laptop here in Toronto. And it's saying, I don't think I know you. Are you truly Deborah? Do you have true access to my account? Now, all you have to do is click on email code, okay?
I've already done that, and I'm logged into my account.
Perfect. Then, do you mind just giving me that 4-digit code that we would have just sent you because I'm logging into your account? I just want to walk you through what we've already created.
Yeah. Did you email it to me?
It takes a couple of minutes, maybe.
No, it was 4592.
Oh, 459. Did it just come right now?
No, it came before we spoke. I was trying to log in. I thought I needed.
No, I would like.
So I already. Oh, so
I apologize.
Can
you just tell me the one? Can you just refresh your email? We would have sent one right now at 1:07.
Okay. That is the new 106. That is the newest one.
What is that?
4592.
So what is the number, please? Okay, 4592. I'll put that in. I'll hit submit. Okay, and that's it. You're done. So I'm authorized to access. So there's seven menu options on your left-hand side from dashboard to analytics, Deborah. Each of that has its own significance. Okay. I'll draw your attention real quick to the accounts because we're limited time. Yep. The accounts has two components. So one on the left-hand side is where we've created your chart of accounts. So this is where you've got placeholders for your trust account, your general account, and we have a concept called owner's pocket. Okay, so who do you bank with for your trust in general?
Honestly, I'm just setting that up right now. So
okay. So when you're ready,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So when you do get those accounts, all you have to do is come in here, click on the pool trust account, and you can click on this nickname and just say, I'm with TD or RBC or whoever you are, okay?
Okay.
What these really are,
so chart of
accounts, assets, trust, and then you do it under bank for general. So you have two accounts, right? You have a trust account and then you have a general account, correct?
Right.
So
these
are placeholder accounts.
I will. Yeah.
When you have it, yes, of course, of course. And then there's this other new concept in uLaw, which is very nice about the product, is this concept called owner's pocket. So this is where, so let's say Deborah, as an individual, has paid on behalf of your business, Deborah Law, right? I'm sure you paid for expenses from your own pocket.
Yeah.
Right, like your law society fees, your law society insurance, whatever, right? So we allow you to park all those expenses paid out of your own pocket under this one owner's pocket category, okay? This is where I'm going to show you how you can enter expenses into uLaw, because I'm sure you already have a bunch of expenses that you've paid for, correct?
Yes.
Because uLaw is a business accounting software as well. So with us, we're a QuickBooks inbuilt. You don't need a QuickBooks. You just need us because we're going to manage all your business expenses in one product.
Wow.
Okay? So it's not just your revenue from your clients and the matters and the legal law society compliance, which we do really well. We also take care of your CRA's compliance needs.
Wow. Okay.
So let me show you. So let's assume you have an expense. Right? Let's say law society fees, right? I'm sure you paid for it. And I'm sure you paid this out of your own pocket.
Yes.
Like personal credit card or personal debit card, something.
My personal account, yeah.
Okay. Now let me quickly show you how you would enter that expense so that you get an idea of how you can catch up by entering all those expenses that you've incurred over the past, I don't know, few weeks. Okay?
Okay.
So under chart of accounts, I'll just draw your attention. There's a category called expense, right? And we've created a bunch of office expenses. Do you see that?
Yes.
These are typical office expenses that any business will have, right? Google, Yahoo, Deborah Law, they could all have the same set of expenses. But there are certain things that your firm has that Google may not have. For example, law society fees. But you don't see that category here, right?
Right.
So to add that new account under this account, you're just going to say add new account. And we're just asking, all right, where under that? So you're going to say, I want to add a new account under my expense category, under my office expenses subcategory. And I'll just call it Law Society Fees. Or I can even say Law Society of Ontario Fees to make it specific. And just hit save.
So the owner's pocket, what's the difference between that and then?
Yes.
That's so the owner's pocket is like for isn't that where you're entering in those expenses, or?
That's correct. So owner's pocket is where you paid the money from. This category is what did you pay the money for. So I'm allowing you to create office expense categories so that you can easily categorize each expense, right? I'm going to show you next how you enter an expense. So a prerequisite to entering expenses is creating categories. And I know you don't appreciate it today, but once the firm grows, you're going to really appreciate the analytics of where you're spending your money. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I've just given you an easy option of how we can add this new category. If you remember, we didn't have this Law Society of Ontario fees before. We just added it. Yeah?
Right. And
now
you
let
have
me
to
show
be
you how.
do you have to be in the expense? Do you have to have selected expense before you go to add new account, or you just?
No, you don't have to. I just did that to show you.
Okay.
You don't have to do that. You can just say add new account directly. You don't even have to go here.
Oh, and then expense. Okay.
Now have to enter an expenses using the green color action button. So in uLaw, if there's one thing you want to learn is when in doubt, a data entry button is action, and any document you want to generate is document generation. So one on the left, one on the right, okay? To enter an expense, you're just going to say action, expense, office expense. And here is a easy pop-up screen that allows you to capture any transaction. So that's all uLaw is looking to do, Deborah, is really giving you a data entry through a practice management software to tell us what happened in real life, whether that's related to your business expenses or whether it's related to your client, okay? So let's take an example, and you can always delete this or change this. So let's say earlier this month on 7th, okay? You can backdate this. Let's say you had a category of office expense called the Law Society of Ontario fees, okay? And let's say this was, you can just say LSO fees for 2019 or 2018.
So that invoice number, that's just the label for it.
That's just if LSO has provided you an invoice number, you can put that in.
Right, okay.
If you don't, leave it empty, okay?
Okay.
But the date is important. The category of the fees is important.
Yeah.
Please use this description to really expand on this particular expense. So you can say, paid using personal credit card. And if you tell us the total amount, we will automatically calculate the pre-tax and the tax.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. If you only know the pre-tax amount, even then we can give you the total amount with the tax. So whatever you know, tell us, and we will calculate it for you automatically.
Right.
Okay. Now the last two questions on the expense is who did you pay this to? So you must have paid this to LSO, right? And the final question, and this is the most important thing, is how did you pay for it? Now there are three options. There's bank, accounts payable, and cash. In bank, this relates to your general account, Deborah. Sometimes certain expenses you may eventually start to pay out of your general account, okay? When you get one. But so then you can use this as the option. Accounts payable is if your firm, when your firm does grow and you start to hire people, and if they paid for the expense, then you would use that option. But for now, if you use your personal money, Deborah, to pay for this, you would just use cash and choose owner's pocket, okay? To reflect that that's how you paid for it. Am I making myself clear?
Yeah, for sure. What would the bank payments
the bank would be if let's say you have a general account, right? I'm sure eventually you're going to get a general account. So let's say you paid out of your business general account. So bank accounts are related to your Deborah Law business accounts. So this is what you're going to have in life, in real life. You're going to have business accounts. You're going to have a trust account for your business. You're going to have a general account for your business. Let's assume that's with TD. You personally may have a checking account. You personally may have a credit card. You personally may even have a savings account. That's all your personal stuff. And that you may have with RBC, assuming. Right?
Right.
So the bank relates to the TD set of accounts that are specific to your business. So we're going to separate Deborah from Deborah Law for a minute. So bank is only specific to your business's accounts. In this case, it's only general account because you cannot pay for office expenses using your trust account. That's why you don't even see this here. Okay?
Yep.
But if you're paid out of your personal money, we're asking you to go to cash and park it under owner's pocket, okay? And use the description to explain whether that was personal debit card or personal credit card, neighbor's money, cash, whatever it may be.
Got it.
That's okay.
Yep.
And I'll tell you why. You put all this and you hit submit, okay? And this is the experience you should expect out of uLaw every time. If you have entered the data, if you see this drop down under accounts, these are all the accounts we've created for you. So let's go to owner's pocket for a second. You see automatically that transaction has been ledgered for you.
Right.
Do you see that? And the description is very important because it's owner's pocket, no worries, but it says personal credit card. So tomorrow you can just say personal and search for it and all the personal stuff would show up. Okay? Or credit card, or you can say debit card and all the personal debit cards would show up.
That's great.
I said only. Okay?
Yep.
I'll leave you with two more things and we're going to jump into client and matter. Okay?
Yeah, which is like my focus. Like I need that very badly.
Now, do you have your own clients right now?
I do.
You do.
I have my own
Would
clients,
you like
and I'm also being and they're all legal aid clients. So in terms of, I'm also been working as I've been doing agency work. So I'm doing agency work. I'm also acting on certificates where I'm not named, but I need to invoice the person that is named on certificates.
That's fine. Okay. So you're working for an agency, right? But you're going to charge the agency an invoice for the work you did for some third party that the agency is representing, correct?
That's right. But I think that they're going to, I'm not sure, I need to confirm with legal aid, but I think that they're going to need to provide a docket that I've created for them in order to actually bill out from legal aid. Yeah.
That's fine. So basically you're going to, okay. So do you want me to, I'm not going to try and create your own client in your account. So do you mind if I just jump into my Playground account and we'll just we'll create a fake situation of a client.
I really don't mind if you use one of my, I can use the name of my client as well.
Oh, okay. So let me go ahead. So the first step in creating your own client, Deborah, is going to contacts and saying add new contact, and you're going to add that contact to your clients group, okay?
Okay, so when I still have the page up, oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so I go into contacts and I add new contact. Okay, I'm with you, yeah.
Sorry, do you see the dashboard right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you're going to click on contacts.
Yep.
Add new contact on the top left here.
Yep.
And click on the clients option. This is a simple client intake form, okay? Mm-hmm. So help me understand the name. So let's put that in.
Okay, so let's do Christopher, Topher, last name Goudreau, Goudrault.
T as in Tom?
Yes.
Perfect.
That's correct.
Now, typically, I know you do legal aid, but you could do legal aid, you could do private clients as well, right? Mm-hmm. We ask you to mark a source of contact. So how did Mr. Christopher get to know you as the legal professional or the lawyer? Mm-hmm. So so you could, it's alphabetically arranged.
Referred.
So you could
client referral.
By who?
So it was another
friend?
Lawyer.
Okay, then you can just say lawyer referral. So just say L and then say lawyer referral, okay?
That's right, yeah. Okay.
You can click on notes and you can even just say who referred you, if you like.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to leave it empty for now.
Yeah.
But very important is to mark. Sorry, go ahead. Did you have a name?
No, I didn't actually. So it was from like a duty council somewhere.
So that's fine. You can just leave it at lawyer referral. And there's a significance for that as well. So let's get a name. Does this person have an address by any chance, or is he not?
No, he's currently residing at at a KMH shelter.
Okay, so we'll leave that empty for now.
That's right, yeah.
But it's important for you to know who do you send this invoice to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who is that company or party? Who do you send that invoice to on behalf of Christopher? Who do you send it to?
So it's going to the lawyer that's retained in London for his London set of charges. And the name of that lawyer is Jeff Snow.
Jack Snow?
Jeff, Geoff.
Oh, Jeff Snow.
That's right.
So you need to add that. So is Jeff your client or is Christopher your client? Who?
No, Christopher's my client.
Okay. But you're going to invoice Jeff for it.
So
for the
I'm
work
going
you're
to.
doing for.
So I'm going to add. That's right. So I'm going to add both clients and people that I'm sending invoices to, all in my contacts.
That is correct. So here, the reason that's why I asked you. So Jeff is really not a client, but you can basically create a group. So right now we have representatives, whatever, but you could add a group saying, new group, legal aid invoice 2, okay? If you like. You can rename this to whatever you want.
Why would I create a group?
Just to categorize these contacts better. So Jeff, he's neither a client. What would you categorize him as a contact in uLaw as?
Because he's going to be paying me the money that I did in representing his client for the charges that he was retained on.
That's correct. So that's why he's the person you're invoicing, right?
Right.
So I would say invoice 2 as a client.
Christopher Goodrow.
Yeah. And then, no, I would then add a new contact under invoice to 2, and I would say Mr. What's this, a Geoff? Is that the right name?
Yes. Snow is the last name.
Snow. Now, I'm sure he has an address, right?
Yes. I don't have that available right.
Okay, let's put that later on.
Yeah.
So to put that information, very simple. You can search for the name or just see it, click on it, and click Edit. Enter the name information and hit Save. Okay.
So what if I just for simplicity's sake, because I am quite slow at this. What if I'm in contacts, I go to add a new contact. What if I just added them all as
clients?
Yeah. Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Oh, I see.
You could add them as clients. I'll be honest. The only differentiation between any other...
Tell me the easiest way. Because I'm not fast on the computer.
That's fine. So let's do that. Let me add Jeff Snow. I'll just say group, and I'll add them to your clients. Let's just say for now you add everything to the clients, okay?
Okay.
But you just have to make sure who you are creating the matter for. So you're not creating the matter for Jeff, though you're invoicing him. You're creating the matter for Christopher, right? That's all you have to make the differentiation. That's all, okay?
So I would select Jeff as opposed to Chris, who's being invoiced.
So yeah, so you go to Christopher and create a matter for Christopher. So create the matter for whoever is the end party, no matter who you invoice to. I'm telling you, the reason I tell you that is we have a concept called additional parties where you can put Jeff Snow as the invoiced to, and the invoice will have Jeff as the party who has to pay you for Christopher's work.
Okay.
So let me create a matter for Christopher, okay? So you have created the file, right? Okay.
We've created the file by adding the contact, yes. Okay, so now we press
First
matter.
step, then you click matter, okay? And this opens up a brand new file for you. So there's 2 pieces of information we ask for when you just create a brand new matter. One is an area of practice. What is this? Is this a criminal law? Is this an employment law? What is this, right? So I know yours is predominantly criminal, so we'll say criminal law. And a simple title, which says, is this DUI? You know, this is possession of drugs. What is this? Cannabis. simple thing
Well,
to.
it might be a number of different charges.
Okay, then you can just put a overarching title which says criminal offenses.
Mhm.
Okay, or it could just be Christopher versus Crown.
Goudreau.
Would that be?
Yeah. Great.
Would that be fair?
Well, yeah. Or RV Goudreau. Yeah.
Are we? Sorry.
So R versus Goudreau. So it's actually like, so when the Crown is prosecuting, they represent the state. So it's R.
What does R
period.
mean?
R is Regina. It's like an old formal like British term, which means basically the Crown versus the defendant.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's R versus Goudreau. Perfect. And I hit save.
And it would, yeah. Okay, great.
So once you save it, one beautiful thing happens. We create a file number for you. We take Christopher's first name, his last name, and create a unique number, which is very important for law societies because you need to be able to cross-index this, use it for conflict screening, all that, okay?
Mhm.
So file number created for you, no worries. If you go to quick view, you're going to see that file automatically, and you can search for it. You can click on the title and jump right into the matter. So quick view is a fast and easy way for you to search for any matter information.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you have a court file number, you can put that in too.
Okay. Usually
if you
it's name. Okay.
It's his name.
Okay. Usually it's like a name that you're going to search for, I think.
Yeah.
Like I won't have a
yes.
file number. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Now it really comes down to, so you've created the file. Fantastic. You've created the contact, and you've now created the file. Now I'm going to just show you one thing. We'll just have this concept called additional parties. So this is where you're going to associate any contact that you have saved in the contacts database. You can take those contacts and associate them as parties in the relationship to this matter. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And relationship to Christopher. So you can say add party, and you can say we have many different legal lingos here for parties. One of them is invoice to. Here you could say, hey, I'm doing this work for Christopher, but I can't charge him, right? Because I'm going to be charging Jeff Snow. So when you generate an invoice, the invoice goes to Jeff Snow, correct?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You will send the invoice to Jeff Snow, would you not?
Yes,
or would you be sending it to legal aid?
No, I'll be sending it to Jeff Snow, who then sends it to legal aid. Yeah.
Then you don't care what he does with it. No worries. All you have to worry about is who is the client. Now, if you are charging Christopher for this, you will not put Jeff Snow as the invoice to. You would leave him empty because then automatically the invoice will be made in the name of Christopher. Yeah. Let's assume a private client, Christopher, comes to you directly and he's going to pay you for it.
No, see,
you're not going to.
Actually, that's the issue. It's like I think I'm invoicing the lawyer.
You are.
Yep.
That is Jeff Snow, correct?
Yes. So he's going to get the money. He's going to get the money from legal aid.
And he's going to pay you.
I've invoiced him, and then he's going to pay me. Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm basically, for my own purposes, I'm creating the matter. I create the client. I go into, for example, Christopher Goudreau. I go into that, and then I'm. So I
now you're going to dock it.
Clients. Yes. So how do I dock it?
This little rectangle that you see here is a docket. So in uLaw in the matter, there are 7 tabs. Forget all of that. I'll keep it straight. There's something called as matter events, which are dockets. Now, each docket is, there's a time for it, right? So when did you docket? When did this event happen? So let's say you had it. So what's a good example of a docket? What did you do for this client?
Let's see. Okay, let's say January 17th.
Okay.
12 to 2:30. Met with the
Sorry,
client 12 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Met with
from
the
12
client.
p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Okay, so you can say
That's
the
right.
duration was 12, and it was for 2.5 hours, eh?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and what did you, was a meeting with the client?
A client meeting and then follow-up calls.
Okay, now you can put the overall title, and you can even use the description, Devorah. You can click on the description to really expand yourself. So you can say, met with the client,
Yeah.
spoke to him. Right, I'm just making this up, but you want this to be as prudent as possible so that your client here, Jeff, knows exactly what you did and what you're asking for.
Okay.
So if you want, I can type this for you, but I'm assuming we don't have time for that. But basically,
that I get. Okay, so I'll type in the details of that.
Yeah, and then use the bulletin here, okay, if you like.
Yeah.
Now, last thing is, how do you bill him? Do you bill a flat rate? Do you do billable time? What do you do?
It's legal aid, so it's always it will depend. It depends on how Okay,
so this particular docket by default is billable time, okay? You can click on it and you can say, I spent 1 hour on it.
Well, if
it's going to take...
But isn't that, so when I say duration 2.5 hours, then meaning some of that time won't be paid for? No.
No, there's, that's where it's interesting.
Don't bill it, yeah.
Okay, so if you don't bill him at all, just put 0. So maybe you bill him as a flat rate overall, right? Or maybe a contingency.
Well, the flat rate, the way legal aid structures it, the flat rate will depend on what happens with that matter.
That's correct. So you just have to decide how you docket each and every docket in a matter, or the overall matter is being charged, okay? So uLaw can handle any combination of that. If you're going to docket by the... Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'll go on. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay.
Go ahead.
That's why I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay.
What happens when there is, so examples are good. So this client, it's headed towards a resolution, which would be a block fee, but then it changes course, and he doesn't want to plead guilty to 2 of his 8 charges, right? So then it splits off. I certainly would, now I would know how to docket, like, what's happening, like, what's transpiring. But in terms of, like, how I'm just not quite sure how the hours
let me
get
give
accounted for.
Let me give you some examples. Let me give you some examples here, okay? So let's say this is a client meeting, okay? You met with the client. You're not going to docket by the, let's say it's a block fee. So but you're still going to put what happened so that you can track it yourself. But you're just not going to charge for the docket. So on the 17th, you spent 2.5 hours. You're not charging them for it. On the 18th, let's say you had a second meeting. You spent 30 minutes. You're not going to charge them for it. You explicitly say you're not charging them for it.
So you add new event just for like the next,
I clicked on add new event and it adds another docket.
Yeah. Got it, yeah.
Now the final resolution has happened Thursday, okay? So you're going to say final closure. In the description, you're going to say final closure, block
whatever
fee.
happened, yeah.
Again, I'm just making this up. We probably wouldn't say this, but let's say block fees of $2,000 plus HST. Now you can turn this entire final docket, click this little arrow that you see here next to billable time. That's called a toggle. You can just click that and make this docket a flat rate docket. And a flat rate docket is not taking time, it's taking cash, it's taking dollars, yeah? And just hit save. Let me show you a pre-bill. So I'll hit document generation, invoice, and I'll do a pre-bill, okay? You can even do this in the legal aid format if you like. Where you can put your certificate number, solicitor number.
Yeah, let me see that. So, okay. Well, I don't want to do it. I guess we can't do it, but you add.
I'm just going to put some random stuff here.
Yeah. So what would that look like?
Yeah, always do a pre-bill or a preview, okay?
Yeah.
Before you generate an actual invoice. Because a preview is harmless document. It allows you to make mistakes if you have to. You can change it. So this is what a typical pre-bill will look like. And here are some intricacies to this invoice or pre-bill. Notice that the invoice is to Mr. Jeff Snow.
Yeah.
The title is R versus Godreau. Now, we don't show you the first name, last name of this guy because the invoice is to Jeff. You don't want him to know that this is for RG. So there's the file number is enough. But the amount due is $2,260. That's the date of the invoice. Notice here how this is just an example. You are telling Mr. Jeff that you have put a client meeting. You typically charge, again, let's fix that first. So would $400 be a typical? So let's go to settings and let's change taxes and rates, and you can change what your per hour rate is, okay?
It depends, but okay, yeah.
So this is your typical
standard.
But you can always change it as long as you've not invoiced it. You can always change it even within the matter. Okay, don't worry about that.
Okay.
But just bear with me here. What we've done here is we've docketed every effort you've put in. You said on the 17th I met with the client, and here's all the description of what you did. You're not charging him by the docket. Then you had another meeting on the 18th. Again, you're not charging him for that. Finally, on the 24th, you said, all done, I'm going to charge you, or you can put whatever you want, and you're charging him $2,000, and now you've included the taxes, and that's what is the due amount.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
is there any way of changing this is definitely a side question, but any way of changing the logo, like to put my own logo there? Yes,
absolutely. So how you change that is this. Go to Help, and there's something called as Personalized Logo. Now, let me do this. Do you have a logo right now?
Yeah, I can send you what I...
Can you please email it to support?
uLawPractice. Sorry, what... support at...
uLawPractice.com.
At uLaw, okay.
Just email us your logo, and we do this as a free service. We resize your logo, and we send you a resized image. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure. Yeah, got it. That's amazing.
So we send you a resized image. Save that resized image in your computer. Come into uLaw and say personalized logo, and just choose. Now the banner is the letterhead, and then in addition you can also have logos. So it really depends on what you have. If you have a letterhead,
amazing.
Yeah. So we have both.
That's so great.
So you choose that, and then it shows up. Okay. Now.
Okay.
I'll do a pre-bill, and I'll do this in the winter theme. It's crazy today. Legal aid. I'll put the certificate, just some random number. Okay.
Yeah.
There you have it. You've got your tax number if you have one, certificate number, which is important, and this. Now, we have something also. Under document generation, you see there's a legal aid report.
Yeah.
You can also generate that right out of uLaw. Sometimes clients send this because this has it exactly in the format required. So imagine we had billable time, disbursements, it would all show up in the format.
That's right.
So last thing, I want to just do something here for you. So let me go to Matter. Because you do a lot of legal aid.
Yes.
I want to show detailed bill hours. I want to detail time and reports. I want to show...
I'm sorry.
You got to go?
So sorry, Praveen, 1 second. No, I don't, but it's at the front. It's right here. It's just there's no new page for it.
No, and there's no, so what like it
I just added my.
you can't add anymore. You add it to the bottom, all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, I just added it on the side margin.
Well, he'll never see that. I'm not.
Right. Just add a page? I don't know. Yeah. Hi there, sorry. I'm back with you.
Oh, perfect. I just added this little thing for you. It says show the start and end time and invoice, okay? What that really does is this. It's pretty cool for legal aid. Okay, so this is one style, yeah? So let me just do it. Don't do a complete. Just always do it.
Can we set and can we just like set the, if it's good for legal aid, can we just like set it as my?
I already have set it. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay, good.
So this is the cool part. It tells you that you spent the 2.5 hours from 12 to 2:30 p.m. like that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
This was half an hour. Because you started at 1:36 and then you went for 30 minutes. Okay? Now this is one style. Typically what I've seen legal aid done is this. They actually put a billable time. They actually put...
They do, eh?
Yeah, they're going to charge by the hour. They're going to say, hey, I'm going to charge you by the hour. And they charge that. Sometimes you may even charge a disbursements. You may have disbursements, right?
What if the billable time doesn't correspond with the time that you've entered? Will it autocorrect or?
If the what?
You know
Sorry,
what I'm saying?
say that again.
Let's say you put in like 12 to 2:30, but then you only put billable time 1 hour, but it was really like shouldn't the billable time correspond with?
No. So the reality of the situation sometimes is that you spend 3-4 hours on a docket, but you only charge the client a specific amount, right? In reality, I've seen lawyers spend 2 hours but only charge 1 hour.
When it's a private client, yeah, I guess when it's like in the block fee context.
I know what you're saying.
Like, yeah.
Then you obviously have to consciously make this 2.5. I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So typically, this is what I've seen people do. And if you put the billable time based on whatever certificate amount allows you to do, right? And if you go to legal aid, this is many times lawyers who do legal aid just submit this document, Devorah. They don't even generate an invoice. They send this off to the legal aid and see, we capture every time spent. 2.5 hours was spent, 2 hours was spent, 1 hour was spent, total billable hours.
Yes.
If you have disbursements, it's going to give you that as well.
Right. That's exactly what, yes, that sounds right.
So this is your law firm. This is Mr. Typically, this would be, if you're sending it to legal aid. Okay? See, legal aid docket for Mr. R was his good role. Okay.
Right.
Now, last thing I want to show you is disbursements.
Wait, so I'm finding that in document generation, right? Documents and then
legal aid. Two things. You can either document generation, generate legal aid, and send that off. But to Mr. Who do you call him? Mr. Jeff Snow. For Mr. Jeff, you're going to want to generate an invoice because he's not legal aid. He's still a private guy. To you, he's still a private client, technically speaking. So you would generate so when you're ready to actually generate an invoice, after you've seen the pre-bill and it looks nice, you would come in and click complete. Okay? And then click on invoice to generate the actual invoice with an invoice number. Okay? Did that make sense?
Okay.
Document generation, you're going to do pre-bill first. Make sure you look at the document and it looks all good. If you like the document, you're going to come. Come back and hit complete. Yes, please.
Selecting complete. Okay.
And complete and then hit invoice. And then there would download button, okay? That's it.
Okay.
If you wanted to put a disbursement, Deborah, you would just say disbursements, add new disbursement, and just paid from general.
And that I don't really need to know about yet.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me stop this recording here. Let's take bits and pieces. We can spend. I'll leave you with this next week, and then I can schedule something the week Feb 4th. Okay.
That would be awesome.
What I would request is if you can slowly at least bring in all your client information and start the docket for these guys. You don't even have to invoice them. If you want to invoice them, you can go ahead and do that. But the week of Feb 4th, I can schedule time with you, look at your accounts again, and then we can even do this together.
That's awesome. Thanks so much. You've been so helpful. And